Can you run us through, at least, at the very least, can you run us through kung ano yung kasong ito mismo? Ano yung pinag-uugatan ng kasong ito?
Supposedly, there was a case for kidnapping with serious illegal detention. Yun yung main charge. Kasi the warrant of arrest only proceeds from that case. And a reading of the information actually did not even state the correct name of Naty, Dr. Naty Castro. She has a long name, and the statement was only Dr. Naty Castro. In the other papers that were submitted in court, she was mentioned as Nat, Dr. Nat. So who could be Dr. Nat?
Pero attorney, ang tinatanong po ni yung details, are you aware of the details of the case? Kasi hindi naman makakapag-issue ng warrant kung hindi nagkaroon ng preliminary investigation.
Opo.
Ano po yung kasong yon? Kasi ang sinasabi ng pulis kanina, ng mga PNP officers, bakit ang inaaway niyo yung pulis? They were just carrying out a warrant. Bakit daw hindi kayo lumaban sa korte para hindi natuloy sana yung warrant o kaya umakyat kayo sa Court of Appeals or any higher court to quash the warrant? So may background diyang kasong yan. Ano po yung background ng kaso kung bakit nagka-warrant?
Ang problema dyan, kasi yung warrant was a hush affair when it was issued. In other words, there was not even any notice that there was going to be a preliminary investigation. So the court that issued allegedly the warrant was actually acting only on the basis of the report and submission of the prosecutor, in this case Genesis Efren. So for all intents and purposes, there was no notice, there was a violation of many constitutional rights of the accused. You do not know, you are not accused of any crime, or for that matter, being investigated, if you are not notified of what allegedly is the charge or complaint against you. That's the problem. There was no such proceeding that Dr. Naty was aware of.
So at the time of the arrest, you had Dr. Naty had no idea what it was about. But now that
Yes.
now that she is in Bayugan, and now that you've gone through the documents, can you tell us what are the assertions of the prosecutors in this particular case? Sino raw po yung kidnap according to them, at sino raw po yung illegally detained?
Hindi pa nga klaro yun. Hindi pa nga klaro yun because whatever we had was the one earlier dismissed some 2 years ago by the judge for lack of basis. So the present case now actually is a resuscitation of something that had already been dismissed. And because of that, she was supposedly arrested. That is why we claim that everything that was done was illegal. In fact, this is a violation of Republic Act 11479, the Anti-Terror Law. There were no actuations that she did that would fit into the definitions of the acts that were defined as illegal under this law.
Attorney, klaro lang namin, she was arrested on the basis of the Anti-Terrorism Act kasi kapapasa lang nun.
No, that was passed July 3, 2020. 2020.
Pero under appeal siya noon, di ba? So pwede pa rin ba yun?
Well, allegedly prospective yung batas, meaning it can be applied after it's passed as a law.
So yung kidnapping with serious illegal detention as part of terrorism, yung ba yung kaso niya?
Yes, kasi there is something like that in the revised penal code. In the revised penal code. And you know, the revised penal code is circa 1935.
Yes.
Circa 1935. So it's an old law. And there is such a crime.
Pero
But
yung yung arrest warrant niya is for that violation of the Anti-Terrorism Act.
Yes, because it fits into the picture of the actuations of the non-uniformed operatives who effected the arrest in her house and in the presence of her siblings.
Sir, I'll go back to your reference to the Anti-Terrorism Law, yung RA 11479. Are you saying that you plan to use the anti-terror law provisions against the arresting officers? Kasi there are provisions in the anti-terror law for the wrongful arrest. Is that what you're saying, or are you saying that it was used against you? Which one is it?
In the legal jargon that we are familiar with, we will throw the books at them because this is something that has to be shown as illegal and not warranted because we are a nation under a rule of law. Whatever they did, that was never under justified under a rule of law.
Follow up ko lang po yung tanong ni Ed, just to be further clear. A lot of people were concerned on that side na baka sinasampulan na tayo ng Anti-Terror Act, di ba? This is what we mean when we say na baka maaresto ka without warrant and so on. Pero sa kabilang banda nun is Ed's point that the Anti-Terror Act also provides for penalties for wrongful arrest. Supposedly may accountability rin yung police doon. When you say you will throw the books, is that part of what you're considering?
That is exactly what we mean. And as a matter of fact, we will not spare also filing moral damages against them because what they did to Dr. Naty cannot really be forgiven. Inhumane. A human person does not do that to another human person. Inhumane, cruel. It was cruel, simply stated.
Attorney?
Kumusta po?
Sige, go ahead.
Are you aware of her condition now? Kasi may mga sakit daw.
Yes. May mga sakit. She's
Condition niya ngayon.
She is diabetic. She has high blood pressure. And she is, of course, under the circumstances, suffering from,
Yes.
nervousness. And which was why our move, aside from filing the appropriate motions, is to ask the court to have her physically and medically examined so that we do away with any assertion on the part of her captors that she is faking her illness. Because when physically and medically examined by a duly licensed physician, particularly coming from the Department of Health, then we would know if she was in fact faking it, and we would also know whether she is really sick or not. And in which case, if you remember the Ruben Ecleo case, the law also allows the hospitalization of persons who have been arrested. You know Ruben Ecleo?
Yes.
Yeah. Dinagat.
Yeah, you remember that.
Pero she has been given access to counsel and to, another doctor.
At this point, no doctor yet. But
Pero-
counsel, yes. My colleague who was there earlier, accompanied by the CHR, Commission on Human Rights, went there to file a petition for bail, which was, of course, made for the purpose of determining whether she should be out as soon as possible by order of the judge. But at this time, there is no such order yet. As a matter of fact, we have been informed that the hearing of this case will be made on March 4. March 4.